Abracadabra. Abracadabra. I think that's a song. Hey guys, it's Bob Fernger. I'm back with another 8-minute call. This is about helping you get rich, get wealthy. And I'm not talking about money. Money just sits in a bank and you stare at it. But what can money do? Money can get you out of debt. Money can finance all the worldwide travel you want to do. Money can help you support your local church or other charities. Money can put your kids in the best school where they're not trying to indoctrinate your children. Government school. Think about that. Government school. I don't care what government you have. It still doesn't sound like a good idea for the government to train your children. But that's another subject. So, money, it's not money. It's what money can do. And man, if you get this, your life can really, really, really change. Really change. So I'm moving the kids' sled out of the yard so the grass will grow because it's about 75 to 80 degrees today here in Orlando. Abracadabra, what did I start that for? Let me tell you what the actual meaning of abracadabra is. Certainly magicians use it, right? The actual original meaning of abracadabra is I create with my words. Whoa! See, people have known this since ancient times, that words literally have the power of life. Life. How's your kids doing? Well, if they're doing well, you've been speaking life over them. And they've been taught how to speak life. How's your bank account doing? If it's doing well, you have good feelings about your finances and money, and you speak good things about it. It's not money. The love of money is the root of all evil. It's not money. What can money do? Money can help take care of orphanages. Money can help out widows. And that's really the true meaning of religion, at least according to Jesus Christ. At least according to, that's religion. Money. So think about it. If I create with my words, that's what abracadabra means. If I create with my words, how are you speaking? How do you speak about money? How do you speak about wealth creation? How do you speak over your children? What are your expectations? Do you have standards that are verbally spoken? They're written down, and your family lives by certain standards and expectations. Because you're always going to get your standards. You're not necessarily going to get your goals. You will always get your standards, not necessarily your goals. Abracadabra. How are you speaking? Think about it. Do you know how many people, and literally, I'm not bragging, God gets all the glory. In my life, I have helped thousands and thousands of people. It's a wonderful opportunity. It's what created my wealth, serving others first. Again, God gets all the credit for that. He's just using me. But how I helped most of those people, the ones who could be helped, was by speaking life over them. By seeing things in them they weren't saying. I was speaking on them regularly. You're amazing. You are going to be one of the top earners in our company. You're an incredible dad. You're an awesome person. You were made to be successful in this industry. And if any of you who have ever worked with me can look back, you remember that's how I talk to you. But do you know how many other people said to me after I spoke those words? They would say the following: yeah, but. Yeah, but what? Yeah, but what? Well, that never worked for me. Yeah, but you don't understand my spouse. Yeah, but my parents taught me that money was evil. Yeah, but I don't make enough money. Yeah, but I can't sell. I can't sell. I don't like to sell. Who's the wealthiest people? salespeople. What a thing to turn yourself against. Well, it's crazy what the enemy in our own mind will do to us. Yeah, but has destroyed more things. Why not? I am capable. I am wealthy. I am made in the image of the creator of all. I am strong. I am blessed. God will bless those who bless me. You know, there's so many positive words you can be speaking over yourself, your loved ones, the people you work with, the people you go to church with. And listen, I got to be honest with you. I wasn't always that guy. My first thoughts were always negative. Everything that comes out of my mouth is a learned behavior. But I wanted to be successful. I wanted a great family. I wanted great children. I wanted, incredible wealth to live a life way over and above. And I had to learn those things. I had to learn the power of words. And that's what today's about. So it's about 11 or 12 years ago, maybe 12 or 13 years ago, I decided I wanted to live on a lake near my area. And man, things are taking off. My businesses are taking off. Just good things are happening in my life, but I want to live on a lake. So I have a real estate gal that I'd been working with, and that was the goal. And, wasn't necessarily easy. I had no desire. I had lived in 7,000 square foot homes, 8,000 square foot homes. I had lived in, when I was back running big companies, very, very wealthy neighborhoods. I didn't want to go the mansion round again. I just wanted to live on a great lake in a safe area near where I currently live, because my adult children all lived in that area. And so I didn't really want to move far. So, man, we're looking at all these lakes. I knew all these lakes. I knew all about all these lakes. And I kept speaking it. And I kept speaking, I will live on a certain lake. And I actually saw the house. And I actually believed for it. And I believed I would have this wonderful dock. And I would have this. And I kept speaking it and speaking it. And I had it written down. And I had vision boards. And I had gone through Architectural Digest magazines and cut out all sorts of pictures, right? Well, it wasn't going well. It was really difficult to find the house that I wanted. And so my real estate gal sends out a letter to every home on every lake within 10 miles of where I currently lived. And we get one response, and it's from a guy who says, I don't want to sell my house, but I'll lease it out. And my gal says, I think we should just go look at this house. Who knows? We go and look at the house. And the whole time he's telling me, I really don't want to sell this house. But he's selling me on the house. He has no idea that his words, remember this is about words, he was selling me every aspect. He even has this picture presentation of a house he doesn't want to sell. He wants to lease it or rent it out. Wasn't even with an option to buy. He has a presentation he shows me about this house and this lake and all this. And by the way, this lake was 1 mile from where I was living. I never knew it existed. It is a completely private lake. There is no public access, unlike many of the lakes here in Central Florida. And I didn't even know it existed, right? Remember, I'm speaking about things that aren't as though they're going to be or are, right? Well, not only do I end up purchasing this house, strange guy telling me he doesn't want to sell the house, but he's selling me on buying the house. And I end up getting it for, I don't know, it's 30 or 40,000 less than the asking price. Now, then I want a dock. And I had already seen the dock in my mind. And I was told I couldn't have this certain size dock. I was told it's never going to be allowed by the county, right? A double-decker dock where I stood way over this lake and I could thank God every day. And I could see stars like amazing. I'm standing on that dock today. What I'm telling you guys, and I'm not bragging, again, I've said it twice, maybe 3 times, God gets all the glory. Everything I know, I learned from other people. I was not always a right person, and I'm certainly far from being right today. But what I know is when I knew exactly what I wanted, I had it written down and reviewed it regularly, and I spoke it out loud regularly, those things manifested into my life. Think it's voodoo? You're probably never going to be in the game. You think it's just hard work? Nothing wrong with hard work. Teaches us so much. And the hardest I ever worked was not the most money I made, right? When I applied the principles I'm teaching along with working and action, without those, that's when I became a multimillionaire. A lot more on this, but abracadabra. Abracadabra means I create with my words. I create with my words. Have a great day. Abracadabra.